What was that?
I don't believe it.
It started in the first year.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen?
You had funny feelings before you got married. And during your pregnancy.
My wife just showed me this video, and
but yet you had not one, not two, but
well, I had to.
Why?
He was incarcerated.
I had to bring it on here. So, what's up, Jack? What's up, Daniel Barry? I hope you guys stay for this one, because this one really is. It's gonna make you want to puke, and it's gonna make you want, and it's gonna tear your heart out at the same time. Yeah, I know I'm early right now, Mom. I'm still doing my live later, but I had to come in. I had to come put this out here. This one's really fucked with my head today. Like, it's really got in my head today.
Understandably, huh?
Yeah. And once I share this, it'll be in your guys' heads for the rest of the day. At least I guarantee you that. No, Jack, I'm not okay. I'm not okay. I mean, personally, yes, I'm okay. But mentally at this moment, no. I'm not okay.
Pretty angry.
I'm angry. I'm pissed. I'm disgusted. I could literally hurt people on this one. I could.
Let's see why. Let's see, watch it.
So I'm just going to get right into it. I'm speechless at the moment. Sorry, guys. Arrests in international child pornography case announced in Florida. This is from 3 days ago. Put this on full screen.
I can't believe Greg Judd wasn't there. 10 days of state and all that.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Prosecution, Rita Peters. It's good to be back. I wish it was to talk about something more uplifting, but we do have a big announcement this morning that we are busting an international child pornography ring. We will be bringing charges against individuals this morning, 7 of whom are Florida residents. As a dad of 3 little ones, it's tough to talk about some of this stuff, but what these guys were doing was truly heinous. There's not a word in the English dictionary that can describe the gross content that was on the videos. Our investigators have been able to get their hands on over 1 million videos showing sexual abuse on minors. Many of these individuals were babies that are being sold around the world.
Sold around the world.
Okay, so let me stop that right there. Did you just hear what he said? Over 1 million videos.
Investigators have been able to get their hands on over 1 million videos showing sexual abuse on minors. Many of these individuals were babies.
Many of these victims were babies and infants. This is the darkness and the evil in the world that I talk about. This is the problem with slapping these motherfuckers on the hand.
And most of these people, most of those people that were arrested, it's not their first time. They've been in trouble for the shit. It ain't the first time. None of them. That's disgusting. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No. Not just sold, Mom. Child sexual abuse material.
Child pornography.
Production of child pornography. Over 1.2 million files. Something I think they said somewhere around 6.6 terabytes.
They'll say it coming up. You just wait.
Yes.
They'll have to hear it. And it's coming up. Just play it.
That are being sold around the world. The 2023 National Center for Missing and Exploited Children reports over 36 million instances of suspected child sexual exploitation and over 100 million files related to child sex abuse material. And that's only what's getting reported. This continues to be a problem in our country, in our state.
Yeah.
Protecting our kids is not an easy task to begin with. And today, with the access to the internet and social media, it allows these sick predators to more easily get access to our kids. And as I've said, my first 5-6 weeks on the job here, that's going to be a major priority for my office. The individuals that are being busted today that purchased this harmful content, many of them found it through TikTok. It was available online. They found access to a portal where they could purchase
Most of them
material.
were
TikTok has shown
found
they can very quickly
on TikTok.
How sickening is that? Like where
quickly get
is
stuff.
the security on these social media?
Yeah, it's non-existent.
Off their website, if there's unlicensed music or something going around, they've proven with a flip of a switch they can get it off. And it's taken too long for them to get some of this pornographic material and avenues to purchase harder, more gross content. We've got to get them to be more accountable. So we'll be working on that. We're going to hold social media companies accountable that want to put our families and our kids in jeopardy. So today, these 8 defendants are being charged with multiple felony counts, including RICO, money laundering, and purchase of child pornography. Again, I can't tell you in words how gross this content is, but it shows the dangers, the evil that's out there. It is truly evil. And you've got my word that in this state, we are going to do everything we can to hold these people accountable. If you are a child predator, if you are one of these sick people, then I hope you never see the sun again. And I hope you certainly never have access to kids again. So we will continue that fight. And I want to give a very special thanks to Rita Peters from Statewide Prosecution for leading this fight. She's going to slap these guys around in the courtroom. And unfortunately, I'm figurative in that comment, but thankful to her, as well as Investigator Abby George, who busted the case. So thank you. I'll turn it over to Commissioner Mark Glass.
Thank you, General. Appreciate it. I just want to say, first and foremost, General Uthmeyer has stepped in and stepping up and stepping out. He is really allowing us to just move forward on these types of cases, these long-term cases, and continue on to get these evil, sick people behind bars. I want you to just take a look at that board over here with these folks. And it is just evil. The faces you see there are faces of evil. The General talked about, we can't even talk about what was on those films and what they had because it is that disturbing. More disturbing than you would see even in your movies. Way more. It's evil. And the sad part about it, there's many more out there, just like these evil people. Many more. And we know it. And through the hard work and dedication of multi-agencies, such as HSI, or DHS, our task force agents from multiple agencies across this Tampa Bay area and the rest of the state, FDLE, and Office of Statewide Prosecution, we're able to get out there and get these evil people out of our society, put them where they belong, behind bars, answer to their crimes. I'm a father, I'm a brother, I'm a husband, and I'm your state of Florida commissioner on FDLE. And the stuff that these evil people did emboldens not only me, but the men and women behind me to go out and get more people like this off our streets. This will not be tolerated in the state of Florida. And when I became the commissioner of FDLE, this is one of my highest priorities, is going after sexual predators, sex offenders, child molesters, deviants that do this kind of stuff to our children, not just our children in the United States, we're talking about children all across the world. We would be remiss not to talk about why it was such important to shut down our border. Children that these evil people do these heinous things with came across our border. I was out there, and the people that looks like that's their mother, it's not their mother. They're just muling the kid. And with HSI out there looking up the unaccompanied minors, we're helping them, FDLA shouldering with them to try to find these children that were brought into our system to make sure they're safe. And we want to make sure that every one of these children were safe that came across that border that are here in the United States, first and foremost. But ladies and gentlemen, make no disclaimer here for you. This is evil, and it will not be tolerated in the free state of Florida. I'll be followed up behind me by the Special Agent in Charge, Mark Brutenell, to give you a little bit more in depth about this case. Mark.
Thank you, Commissioner. And thank you, Attorney General, for both of your support and your leadership. I know the team really appreciates you guys being here today. Thank you for that. So I'm going to kind of get into a bit of the weeds of this investigation, which to me, this is one of those career cases. This is one of those cases where you're going to look back 10 years from now and say, I really made some change. It was a lot of hard work, and I'm glad I did it, and the results speak for themselves. So what happened was in July of 2024, our agents were working proactively on the internet, looking for individuals that like to sell and distribute child pornography. And our agent found a chat room where he was speaking to an individual who directed him to a website called tributeprintedpics.com, which is on the internet. It's not the dark web, it's the straight internet. So our undercover agent went there and began a conversation with an unknown individual who wanted to sell him child pornography. At the end of the day, our agent purchased 6.7 terabytes of child pornography for $100. So I'm going to put that in context. That 6.7 terabytes is 1.2 million videos and pictures of some of the most egregious, disgusting content we've ever seen. My agent has done this for a long time, and he came to me after that purchase and having to view some of that stuff and said, boss, it was awful. It was awful. For him to say that, it had to be really bad. I've read the affidavits, and it makes me sick. So that's where the case really started off. So within a week after that, working with our Attorney General's office, FDLE and Attorney General's office, we executed a seizure warrant on that website, tributeprintedpics.com, and we shut it down.
I was fucking.
You're not selling that stuff on the internet. We shut it down. Within 2 days, several phone calls from law enforcement agencies all across the country, local, state, federal. Thank you guys for doing that. Thank you. A lot of them had active cases, and they could not figure out how to shut this website down. The state of Florida shut it down.
So, since I was muted, I'll repeat myself to myself, but it'll be the first time you guys hear it. 6.7 terabytes of child sexual abuse material for $100. We're talking about a $260 billion a year industry. Over 1.2 million videos of infants, babies, toddlers, teenagers, and some of what they're explaining as some of the most horrific and egregious things they've ever saw.
And they've been doing that shit for years and years.
This lady in the background has been doing this for over 30 years. 1.2 million videos of children being raped.
Babies. Little babies.
Babies.
Yeah, and sold.
For $100.
So as the case progresses, we identify an individual from New Jersey, Krunalmar Modi. We realized he was a money mule for this organization. Let me back up. In the midst of our undercover chat, we also were directed how to pay the $100 for this 1.2 million files. So we went up to New Jersey, working with those authorities in New Jersey, and we executed a search warrant at his residence, an arrest warrant. And with all of his electronics, we did a very thorough scrub of his electronics, which produced a treasure trove of evidence. This is where the case really started to take off. We were able to identify an individual by the name of John DeVille. Clearly, that was an alias. We knew that at the time. But John DeVille and Mr. Modi had over 500 transactions. So that's the volume of transactions of this CSAM that they were distributing and selling. Knowing that was clearly an alias, that was when the case really took off. That's when our primary goal was to find out who John was. As a part of this investigation, we were able to identify 7 people in Florida that had purchased this material from John through Modi. And those customers were identified as Brett Ryan Moore from Orange City, Michael Andrew Warden from Kissimmee, Jacob Ross Conley from Fern Park, Cody Vance Jordan Muti from Palm Bay, and Israel Cole Thomas from Lakeland. Now, there's 2 customers up here on this board, and I'm going to just kind of talk about them briefly. The first one is Frankie Pinero Jr. He is from Groveland, Florida. This individual was listed as a sex offender. He was currently on probation from a child pornography arrest that our office in Orlando did in 2019. He got a very light slap on the wrist for that case, and he was also sentenced to 20 years of probation.
I don't even have anything to say.
We know he bought a large amount of this disgusting material from our guy John, and it was on his phone. So I'm pretty confident, you'll hear from Rita here in a minute, he's not getting probation on this one. There's no doubt about that. Our second individual was a guy named Brett Allen Snodderly from Clearwater. Again, we know he purchased this material from John. During a search warrant at his residence, we found children's underwear at the residence. Now, we did our...
This just shows what he's about to say will show you that there's no rehabilitating these motherfucking parasites, dude. None. Listen to what this gentleman says right here, guys.
Our due diligence, we're positive he's not a hands-on offender, but obviously great cause for concern. His phone, which was very tech savvy, we had to bring it back to the office, get into it with a search warrant, proper legal service, which we did. Ultimately, you guessed it, lots of CSAM on the phone. So about 7 days later, we get an arrest warrant. We have Clearwater PD go pick up Mr. Snodderly. And when they do, what does he have? He has a new phone with even more child pornography on the phone.
So he gets picked up. They take his phone with a warrant and find it full of CSAM, child sexual abuse material. Take it back to the department. Get into it and find all this child sexual porn. Enough to secure a warrant to return back to his house 7 days later, and the motherfucker's got a new phone with even more child sexual abuse material. 7. He just got busted.
24 hours.
Well, 7 days is what he said.
Well,
Well, he probably didn't wait even 24 hours to go get a new phone and start fucking downloading shit. So he just gets arrested, and a week later, he gets picked up on a warrant with more child sexual abuse material on his fucking phone. They're rehabilitatable, right? Yeah, fucking right.
I mean, I don't know what to do at this point. You can't fix that, right? So this guy, we have his phone within a week, a new phone, more child pornography. As the investigation continues, always searching for John. We identify through HSI another money mule, Exima Maqueda from Portland, Oregon. She was a facilitator for the sale of this disgusting material. She has a current arrest warrant now for money laundering. We also identified suspects in Canada and Ireland, and we're working with HSI in that regard.
Coast to coast,
finally, after
country
almost
to
a
country.
year of diligent work, 140 subpoenas, 20 search warrants, endless hours of analysis. You see this chart here. That's kind of a way to break down the spider web that we had to sift our way through and figure out who's who here. We were able to identify John DeVille as Mehmet Bozayuk from Adana, Turkey.
Not even a fucking American.
Mr. Mehmet was very deliberate in hiding his identity. He utilized multiple layers of VPNs, money mules, obviously, burner accounts, burner phones. He also used a lot of stolen personal identification information that he would steal off the web to send money through different channels. He really, really believed that he could outsmart us, but at the end of the day, he didn't. He tried to profit on this horrific abuse of children, but we caught him. A little back story on Mr. Mehmet. He's married with 2 kids, and this is his way of making money. We currently have an arrest warrant for him in the system. We are talking with HSI, our
You're
partners at
not
HSI,
seeing him?
to try to get him extradited to Florida, and I hope we can pull that off because he will be held accountable here in Florida, no doubt about it. An excellent case, the teamwork. Again, as a father, like I mentioned before, I was amazed at these guys, the way their dogged pursuit of him.
1353. Sorry, guys. I'm having a technical difficulty. What's up, Temper? What the fuck? I hate this new layout that StreamYard's got, dude. I really fucking hate it. This is not making sense to me, dude. Can you guys see the video that I'm trying to play? We put one in the chat if you can see the video I'm trying to play. You see it? Okay. That's weird because it doesn't show it on my side. It's literally just my logo. So let's get back to it.
Again, it's one of those cases where you're going to look back when you're over with this career and say, I made a difference. That's just one network. I'm sure there's several more out there that we are actively going to target as well. So with that, I'm going to bring up ASAC McCombs from HSI to talk about their role in this case. Thank you.
Thank you, Sec Rutnell. It's a great honor to be here today to speak with you all on this case, and most importantly, our great collaboration with the state of Florida and its partners. No finer partners to have than partners at the state of Florida. FDLE is a tremendous, tremendous partner for us, and the citizens of Florida should be proud for the level of investigative effort that went into this investigation to keeping all of our.
Trevor, are you saying you want me to go back so you can see more of it, or what are you saying? You want back to get a summary so far. Oh, well, all right.
Family safe, to include my own. HSI has 90 offices in 56 countries all around the world, and a number of them were utilized in this investigation to uncover this network. Oftentimes we will bring these investigations to the state, but this one was the reverse. They brought us in on this investigation. We're very thankful for that. It's a great partnership when the federal government and the state government can combine resources and leave no stone unturned worldwide to uncover massive amounts of child pornography at a low global systemic level, and one that we're going to work very hard to dismantle. We will not stop in pursuing these investigations. We can't stop. And the level and brutality of these images are sickening, and I've seen a lot. I just want to thank the investigators on this investigation, some of the best that I've seen, the financial analysis, some of the best that I've seen in my 28 years of federal law enforcement, and very, very proud to be a part of this investigative team. And I also want to thank my investigators at Homeland Security Investigations in Tampa. Thank you.
I'm not shocked either, Temper. I'm really not. I'm really not shocked either. And you're right. It's about damn time they do their fucking jobs.
They're just barely realizing the shit. The problem.
Yeah.
Pull your head out of your asses.
Good morning. By way of reintroduction, excuse me, my name is Rita Peters, and I have the pleasure of serving under Attorney General James Othmeyer at Office of Statewide Prosecution. I specialize in matters involving human trafficking, sex crimes, child exploitation, and I have been doing that for about 26 years. And to say that the images and videos that I observed in this case were the most horrendous is an understatement. In July 2024, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement contacted me to assist in an investigation regarding a sale of images of child exploitation, child sexual abuse material. We learned that for $100, they were able to obtain links that led them to over 1 million videos of children involved in some of the most heinous types of sexual brutality that I have ever seen. Brutality that involved infants, necrophilia, brutal sexual battery, and molestation. These horrific pictures and videos.
Infants, necrophilia, brutal, infants, babies.
Videos capture real, identifiable children whose names are in the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. These children have been identified series within that directory. They are victims of human trafficking. They're also victims of sexual battery and a plethora of other crimes. And these kids are from the United States. We began by sending subpoenas to multiple companies to start the paper trail and see where we were going. That was followed up with search warrants to various financial entities, as well as online communication applications. And then we kept following that paper trail until we finally learned the identity of our main distributor.
I agree, Temper. I agree, Temper. Get the fucking tomatoes out. Like, she's been on a job for 26 fucking years, and like, I just don't. I just don't get it. I like. She should. I'm not trying to downplay the seriousness and the amazing work they did on this case, but fucking come on, man.
Like, you should have been doing this shit a long time ago, dude.
There's, especially towards the end of this video, the one guy says something. I'll point it out when we get there, but I can't believe he says it. And it's like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah. He's like, this is becoming a really
Mehmet
big problem.
Through our past investigative experiences and information that we were able to obtain in the early stages of our investigation, we determined that the vehicle that was used by Mehmet was tributeprintedpics.com. And very quickly, we shut that down. We seized that website, and FDLE was able to shut it down. And as you've heard, multiple agencies, we actually heard from global agencies, England as well, that they thanked us for shutting that website down because it had been such a source of a problem. Through the following steps, we isolated the individuals that you see on that board who took part in not only the distribution by Mr. Mehmet, but also the purchase of all of these images. It is because of that desire to see children being brutally raped, the demand for that this was possible. In addition, we learned that Mr. Boziuk Mehmet also employed identification from other individuals stolen on the dark web to use their financial resources or their financial accounts to obtain funds from buyers to also sell this child pornography. We spoke to 2 of those individuals who had no idea that their financial accounts had been utilized for that purpose, one of whom was in Canada that broke down. He filtered money through these accounts just so that he can enrich himself through the sale of child pornography.
What's up,
These
Dreamer?
individuals have all been charged in Hillsborough County Court. Krunal Kumar Narashabi Modi from New Jersey is facing a 65-year sentence for RICO, or racketeering, conspiracy to racketeer, and money laundering. Frankie Pinero Jr., who also faced child pornography charges in the 9th Judicial Circuit, is charged with conspiracy to commit RICO, purchase of child pornography, and use of a two-way communication device to commit a felony, 40 years, Florida State Prison. And a side note, Mr. Pinero was charged by our Office of Statewide Prosecution through the Orlando Bureau with the additional child pornography that we obtained off of the electronic items, and he has pled and received a 35-year sentence on that one. So it's just a matter of days before we have him in our jurisdiction. We have Brett Ryan Moore.
I couldn't agree with you more, Temper. I really couldn't agree with you more. But listen to the sentences that some of these guys have been that some of these parasites have gotten.
With conspiracy to commit RICO, purchase of child pornography, and use of a two-way communication device, again 40-year sentence. Israel Cole Thompson, conspiracy to commit RICO, purchase of child pornography, and use of a two-way communication device, 40 years.
Execution.
Brett Allen Snodderly, similarly 40 years. Jacob Ross Conley, 40 years.
Execution.
Cody Vance Jordan Muti, 40 years.
Execution.
Michael Warren, 40 years. And then ultimately we will have Mehmet and also Jimena from Oregon. They will be charged. Mr. Mehmet Boziuk will have a whole host of charges, and his exposure will be well over 400 years in Florida State.
Now, 40 years is a long time. It's not long enough for me. They should not have an opportunity to ever get out of prison. I 100% support instant death penalty for motherfuckers like this.
Was there 2, 3, and 4-time offenders? Yeah, dude. And to little infants, little babies.
Jack, we'll be lucky if they do 20 years out of that 40. Some of these guys are 20 years old. They'll be getting out in 20 years from now. They'll be 40 years old. What's the big fucking deal?
Just in their prime.
Right when they're hitting their prime time, baby.
State prison.
Get out and do it again. You know what I mean?
Yep. Every one of these people are 47-cent cases. On the spot, 47-cent cases. Don't need a jury, don't need a trial.
This is only one state.
And this is only one part of one state.
In our country. That's for real.
It was a pleasure to do this investigation. This was hands down just good old fashioned police work. And that's what it was. It was a partnership. We made ourselves available at all hours every day, as did every other agency, because it was about saving those children and making sure that we would take this element off of the street.
Yeah.
And we look forward to prosecuting these individuals. We look forward to bringing Mr. Boziuk back from Turkey so that he can be answerable to our courts and receive the sentence that he so richly deserves.
Yeah, and you're probably right. They would probably do a plea bargain and get it down to 8 years. Maybe 8 years.
Thank you, Rita. Parents and families at home can rest assured knowing Rita's here fighting the fight and keeping our kids safe. With that, we'll open it up if there's any questions.
Do you have Mr. Bazook in custody in Turkey, or is he currently at large? And is there an avenue to extradite him?
He is not currently in custody. We are working to get him. We'd like to extradite him over here and hold him accountable here, if at all possible. So we'll be working hard on that.
What country did you say?
I think some conversations have begun, but I can't really share much more than that unless somebody else has something to add.
Got let go today.
So the local offenders, we typically see a lot of arrests, for sure. That's a lot of success in that. But this seems to stretch a lot further, and you've gotten into the upper echelons of this.
His job.
Talk about how meaningful that
Are you
is.
sure though? You might maybe.
Yeah, cases like this are tough. There's tons of these sick guys out there. There are, and you can stumble upon a guy purchasing something here or there, and then you got.
Did you just hear what he said? There are tons of these guys out here.
You're well aware of this, but you're just barely bringing it to attention.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
We'd like to extradite him over here and hold him accountable here, if at all possible. So we'll be working hard on that.
Listen.
I think some conversations have begun, but I can't really share much more than that unless somebody else has something to add.
So the local offenders, we typically see a lot of arrests. I'm sure Jeff has had a lot of success in that. But this seems to stretch a lot further, and you've gotten into the upper echelons of this horrific network. Can you talk about how meaningful that is to you?
Yeah, cases like this are tough. There's tons of these sick guys out there. There are, and you can stumble upon a guy purchasing something here or there, and then you got kind of the tough decision. You want to get these perverts off the street right away, but you also can see, well, there's more to be had here. So, is there more than what's on this board? Possibly, but we're at a point now where we've cracked the large international nature of this ring. We got to get these people in and hold them accountable. We'll keep looking. We'll keep investigating on the peripheries here, see who else might fall under our authority. But you've hit on the tough spot. How hard do you keep investigating versus getting dangerous people off the streets? And then we were at a point here where we felt like we had to bust these guys. We'll keep working on it, but I think we've learned a lot through this investigation that's going to help us as we try to expose and prosecute the larger international efforts here that harm kids.
What's up, Drew?
Hey, man.
Are you serious? You got let go today, bro?
Yeah.
Why? For what, dude?
So, all right. So, when I was getting trained, I was told to buy the tools I need for the job. So I emulated everything one guy had on his cart. I bought every little fucking thing. I bought the cart, I bought the bag, I bought the tools, the company credit card. I have, for years, I've worked for myself. So I'm used to doing that. I buy my tools I need for the job, and I pay for them. Well, apparently they when I told them, they had a fucking freak out, and like they were getting a bunch of static. My boss was getting a bunch of static for it, and I was like, I'll just return. I can either pay for it or I can just return all this shit. It's not a big deal. Like it's not a big deal. So I went and returned everything, and I just bought my own tools, like I always do, for a job. You know, when they told me to do it.
Right.
So, so yeah, they just let me go. Hello, mama. Damn. Sorry, distracted. So that fucking, it's okay. You know, this actually took a lot of stress off me. I liked the job; it was a good paycheck. But I have to look at it this way: it wasn't something I was going to do the rest of my life. Being around all that chicken grease, the dangerous environment, and just the distance I had to travel, it was just almost not worth it.
Yeah.
I mean,
You were driving like almost 4 hours a day though, right?
yeah, and I mean, it pretty much too much risk on me, honestly. I'm already in talks with another job with another recruiter, well, headhunter. And I'm probably gonna have another job here by next week, but still, it's just. Well, I gotta do interviews. I gotta go through the fucking interview process, obviously, but that's not an issue for me. It's just kind of bullshit. It shouldn't have gone down that way. Kind of unhappy about that. But I didn't really get along with a couple coworkers as well, and so I guess it was all for the best. I didn't get a cry. You know.
Yeah. Well, I just know how excited you were when you landed the job and shit, you know, and you know, you're my friend and I care about you, bro, you know, and like that sucks, dude. But
Yeah.
if you think it's for the best, you know, and you're gonna be all right, then
Shit happens, you know. I'll be fine. Yeah.
by all means, you know.
Shit happens. You know, I'll be upset for a day, and you know, I'll drink it away, and tomorrow I'll be fine. Whatever. Life goes on.
I guess that's kind of that whole, you know, radical acceptance type deal, you know.
Yeah. Right.
It is what it is, you know. You can't do shit about it. Not gonna change their mind.
No, you're right. I agree. You know, if you don't, you know what? The one thing I always stand by. I know I said it on here this panel many times before, but if you sit in the water too long, you drown. I don't ever intend to drown. You know, I'm a shark. I'm not a shark. I'm not a fish, man. Well, technically, a shark is a fish, but I don't fucking go around and, you know, let myself get eaten by things that are bigger than me. I just overcome it. So anyway,
Yeah, I mean that's all you. I mean, you know, I mean that's not all you can do, but that's like the best thing to do, you know.
yeah,
Like with me, like me, what the IRS pulled with me on my taxes on our taxes this year, it's really fucked me. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But there's nothing I can do to change it. And being pissed off and upset about it's only going to be hard on me.
stressful.
You know, so I mean, I can't. There's nothing I can do about it. So what the fuck? Why get all stressed out and fucking, you know? Yeah, it sucks. You know, I got to wait until probably the middle of fucking June before I get my taxes back. But
Yeah.
you know, but it is what it is. You know.
Well, shit happens. Excuse me. Yeah, it's all right. I'm gonna
What's up, Martine?
I was gonna go to the bar, and I was sitting there waiting for him to open, and bartender never showed up. So it's back over here. I'm probably gonna like a cocktail or something. Drink myself until my liver falls out, and wake up feeling like shit tomorrow. But I'll be all right.
Well, you don't even want to drink your fucking liver out, bro. Come on now.
Yeah, I'm just.
You're kind of important. You're kind of an important part of this community and shit. You know what I mean, bro?
It's the euphemism. Yeah, but yeah, I appreciate it.
I know it was a euphemism. I mean, I didn't know it was. I know you're just fucking around, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like you're one of my longest YouTube friends. You know what I mean, bro? And I fucking care about you, bro.
Yeah, I care about you too. Hell
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Hell yeah. That's what's up, Aaron.
For real, bro.
But
So did you hear the first part of this video I was playing?
I was about halfway through. I guess they busted a bunch of pedos.
8.
Busted 8 of them.
They busted. They arrested 8 people for it.
Yeah.
A child pornography and trafficking ring. They only seized 6.7 terabytes of, or 7.7 terabytes of data, of videos, which came out to be terabytes, which came out to be like 1.2 million fucking videos of CSAM, child sexual abuse material, where babies, infants, toddlers, bro,
I'm selling them.
for $100 is what they were selling them for, dude.
And they only get prison.
Yep.
And,
Yeah.
and all of them, it's not their first time.
Yeah, and most of them, it's not the first. This is not the first charge. The one guy that they arrested him. They seized his phone. They got a warrant to search his phone, and he didn't say how much they found on it, but his expression was conveying that they found a lot of child porn on his phone. 7 days later, they get a search warrant. They get an arrest warrant to go and arrest him. When they arrested him, he had a new phone already, and they found even more CSAM on his new phone than he had on his old phones that they confiscated 7 days before that.
Shit.
You know what I mean?
That's so fucking disgusting, dude.
Yeah. Like this is like, people don't be like, I don't see how people cannot see how fucked up this is getting, man.
Yeah. And that's how I feel about it too. And that's only 8 out of the fucking just too many of them, man. Too many.
Yeah, and this is well, no, they said that they
Well, it's too many, but
Ireland.
Yeah, part of it, but yeah.
Yeah.
But
What?
the bus went down
But,
the
like just basically Portland, Oregon was one place that they arrested one person at. Turkey, Ireland, and Florida. So basically 4 cities.
that's crazy, dude.
And I just don't.
That's crazy.
It kills me, dude. It literally fucking kills me, dude.
In Turkey, the age of consent is like 13, ain't it?
Yeah, I think it is. I think Turkey, the age of consent is
It's horrible.
13.
Just imagine. It's horrible.
Yeah. Necrophilia, bestiality, like forcing animals onto the children.
Damn.
These detectives are saying, these detectives says it was some of the most egregious shit that they've ever seen in their entire careers. This one lady has been doing this for almost 30 fucking years, and she said this is by far the worst she's ever seen.
I can't even imagine how that's a kink. Like I didn't understand. I didn't even know that was a fucking kink. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, bro.
What?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude.
Fuck, dude. People. Oh. Ugh. I don't know, man. That's too much. People are fucked up.
Yeah. That's putting it lightly and decently.
Yeah, that's right.
Like I said earlier, the receipts proved they knew. Remember how they do operations? They use bait, so I guess it's clear who's the bait. Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly, Temper. It's a load of trust the process. It's hard for me. Like I have faith in the process, but it's hard for me. It's hard for me. Like just my own personal family. Like I said, I've said it on here before with my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law got arrested trafficking drugs. He got 36 fucking years fixed in federal prison. The dude that was sentenced before him for his 5th count of child production of child pornography, distribution, production, and receiving child pornography got 5 fucking years. My brother-in-law gets 36 years for fucking selling drugs to drug addicts. And this dude that was promoting and selling and producing child pornography got 5 years after he's been arrested 4 times before this. You know what I mean? Where's the balance? Where's how does that even fucking make sense? I'm not condoning drug trafficking. I'm not. You shouldn't do it. Okay? You should, but at least my brother-in-law was only selling drugs to fucking drug addicts, adult drug addicts. He wasn't out there raping kids and fucking making child porn. And the dude that was doing that shit got 5 years.
Is it the same state?
Yeah, and yeah. Same federal courthouse, dude. Like
Wow.
I sat there for like, they went over this dude's case, dude, and like we're talking, he had a couple thousand videos and images of CSAM, and he gets 5 fucking years, and he's already been convicted 4 fucking times on the shit. He got 5 years. My brother-in-law hadn't even been a blip on the fucking radar in 25 years or more with the police departments for drugs, and he gets busted and he gets 36 fucking years fixed. And the judge literally looked at my brother-in-law and said, Mr. So-and-so, if it wouldn't have been so long since your last drug conviction, I would have gave you life. Life without parole. But since it's been almost 30 years since your last drug conviction, I'll be nice and I'll let you see if you can get out in 36 years. The dude that did that shit to them kids, made that child porn, he's already out of prison. This was 7 years ago that this happened. He's already out of prison, doing it again, and I guarantee that.
All drug laws are unconstitutional.
Yeah. I think they're bullshit myself.
Mm.
Anyway, I'm going to finish up this video, Drew.
All
That
right.
sucks about your job, bro. I appreciate you being
All right.
here.
No, thanks for listening. Yeah. My picks.
International because of the amount of images that they worked on, like what kind of data want to see.
I think we hit on both of it. The international element, the fact that you had this guy in Turkey working with, a couple people over here to disseminate this largely, and then the volume was tremendous, and then the content. These kids in the videos are being abused again and again, and then to have this content sold and distributed where that victimization continues to occur every single day, just made this a mammoth case of evil. And for our investigator to stumble upon it and to be able to bust it is very meaningful for the state, for the country, really for the world. Yeah.
If I could just add one thing to your question there, I think a couple of things make this the career case. To me, the saturation of this stuff on the internet is very concerning. $100 got you 1.2 million videos. That's a big issue, a bigger issue, obviously. But as we targeted our Florida folks, make no mistake, we have a bunch of evidence of individuals around the country, and those leads are going out to other law enforcement agencies across the country. We just focused on Florida first, but the Met had a large-scale international and national network, and we had those folks identified. Those leads are going out. Make no mistake. There'll be more arrests
That makes
in
me
these
feel a little
cases.
bit better.
Tip of the iceberg.
Actually, about the children, because obviously you have visual recognition software, I'm sure you apply.
Yes.
And there's the 20 children's network. You identify any children that that abducted or otherwise are part of that network that would be able to help them recover.
Yes, or not as of yet, but we were able to identify several series of this downloads that have been identified from NCMEC as that, which is also concerning, but also new ones, which we'd never seen before. So there's a lot of videos. Again, I go back to when they told me $100 got me 1.2 million. What are we doing? That's very concerning.
Are you guys able to walk us through sort of this spider web? Is that the hierarchy of power of this ring, or is that sort of like your staff, or just sort of what are you looking at on that?
That is just the depths at which the Met covered his tracks. Those are the ways he tried to stay away from his business by using burner phones, burner accounts, stealing uninvolved people's identification and using them as money mules. Unbeknownst to them, as Rita said, we spoke to an individual in Canada who had no idea that this guy was using his stuff to facilitate his international child pornography ring. He was very, very slick. Not anymore, though. But
So let's think about this. Let's think about this real quick. 1.2 million videos. They didn't find 1.2 million children. Okay. I'm sure it wasn't just one child being, you know what I mean? You see where I'm getting at here? 1.2 million videos means at least means at least 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 fucking individual children being raped and fucking tortured by these fucking sick, sadistic motherfuckers, man. That's what you guys gotta, that's how you guys gotta look at this shit. 1.2 million videos equals 1.2 million children, man. It's no fucking bullshit. That's how fucking sick it is.
Innocent children.
What he was.
Anybody else? Yeah.
I'll ask a question. What are some things that you encourage families and parents to prevent or to keep their children perhaps away from getting caught up in this kind of web?
Sure.
Preventions, things that.
Yeah, the first thing, if you are not going and looking at social media and what's out there, you need to. And I'm not telling you, go look for porn, but you can see it is not hard to find it on publicly available social media websites like TikTok. As I said before, we're going to be cracking down. They got to get that stuff off of there. But the access, people, they're skilled. They impersonate others and they try to lure kids in. So if you're teenagers, if you're young people, if they have access to social media, you should be all over that. The legislature passed a great bill a year ago where young kids cannot have access without parental consent, without parental involvement. We're litigating that law right now, and I think it's going to end up in the right way. It's the right thing to do. But you need to be having those conversations with your kids. You need to be exercising controls where you can. If you even want to let your kids have some of this information. I know those are difficult decisions. That's for you as a parent, and for every parent, it's going to be a little bit different. But I cannot say enough to scare you about how dangerous social media is for young people right now. I don't know if anybody has anything else to add.
Thank you, sir. Also, when you move somewhere or you're living in a neighborhood, FDLE has a website for you to take a look at, and these clowns are already on it. So now I'm gonna call them clowns because they're clowns. They're already on it. So know what's in your neighborhood. Know what's in your neighborhood. Know who your kids are going over to whose house. Know what's going on. Be parentally involved. Do not let the government parent your kids, because the government cannot parent your kids. We can uphold the law, pursue the law, and protect you in that manner. But you as a parent have to be involved with your children at all costs. This is also solid in knowing who's coming in your home, whether it be contractual services, whether you have maids, whether you have you got some work done on your house. Know who you're contracting with. And then we have many websites within the state of Florida, from everything from seeing if it's a reputable company. We already doing you can check the reputable company, and knowing who's coming to your house. You can ask the person who's contracting, who's coming to my house? What's their name? You could go online and check it yourself. I recommend a lot of people do that. A lot of people don't do that because they're afraid they'll offend somebody. Trust me, go ahead and offend them, because if they're offended, then there's a problem.
Exactly.
If I had a business and you were checking to see what contractors coming to my house, I'm gonna say, yeah, it's John Q. Smith. It's
Blow Blow.
Citizen. That's who's coming here, and we do background checks in our systems and everything too. Please do yours too. If you see anything, please let us know, because then I would get you off my rolls as an employee. If you're a reputable company, you will do that. If you're not, you're just going to go grab anybody that's there. Remember, a lot of these folks, when they go down this pathway, do not have they can't get certain jobs, because you won't pass your background in around children or in around people. So they go to these type of things. So just pay attention to who's coming to your house and who's in the area. So.
Anything else? Go to the order. Yeah, I'll close by saying two things. One, one of these individuals was on a lighter probation sentence by the state attorney over in Orlando. Just another example of, the dangers that can be out there when you have people that want to go soft on crime. So our office is going to be looking at that individual, her conduct going forward. We want to make sure that we are enforcing rule of law. We are upholding the duties that, oaths are sworn to in the Constitution, and that we are keeping the streets as safe as we can. And then the second thing I'll say, again, to echo, this was a great team operation. We got a great thing going here in Florida. Our state law enforcement, the AG's office, Homeland Security, and our federal partners, we're working well together, to advance public safety and rule of law. Our state law enforcement officers, they need a raise, a big one. The governor's proposed it. I've been screaming from the hilltop, and hopefully our legislature will come through this year and deliver. It's getting more expensive to live in Florida, as everybody knows, and we're all dealing with that. But these public servants that put their lives on the line every day, it's tough on them. We got to have their backs and help them to be successful. So thanks, everybody. Have a good one.
That's just craziness.
So a couple of the comments I noticed in the chat. Let me scroll down here.
need to get some lunch, man. I'll
All right, bro.
chat, bro.
All right, you gonna be over chilling in town tonight, bro?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, man. All right, bro.
All right, man. I'll see you around, bro.
All right, brother. Be good, man.
You too.
Hey, boss. Miss Boss. Martin says, hey, boss, Miss Boss.
Martin.
So let me see here. So that dude gets fed and housed and protected for 5 years. Yep. Pedophiles don't do well in prison, Sir Martin. Well, it's not too bad for him too much anymore, anyway. Chat Prepper. What's up, Hortawall? Keep getting ads. Yeah, it's because I don't have it turned off. I forgot to turn it off on this one. I don't know why. I'm the only person on fucking YouTube that has to fucking turn it off every single live stream, and I forget. Okay, so Martine right here. So Wanda says this is just to play the media, I think. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Martine says that shit is staggering, boss. What do you mean, Martine? Like my numbers? Well, if you think about it, they had 1.2 million videos of children being raped. I'm sure they didn't have 1.2 million kids. If you cut that number in half, that's 600,000. If you cut that in half, that's 300,000, and that's if that only happens like 3 times. Like, you know what I mean? We're talking 100,000 kids, easy. If there was 1.2 million videos and there was 100, that means they all got raped 10 times apiece. If my math is right. It's probably not, but you see where I'm getting at here. And then one E says that you can't assume anything. The proof is in the people they don't want us to look at. I'm not assuming anything. Like, I don't know the exact numbers, but like, I mean, if there was 100,000 kids and there was 1.2 million videos, that means each kid got raped 12 times and they videotaped it. You know what I mean? What's up, Picework? Okay, I thought you were trying to argue with me, Martine, for the first time. I was gonna get mad. I'm mostly just kidding. Yeah, Martine says, yeah, easily that many, and still way too many. Yeah. She means people in positions of power, I think. Okay. Government, teachers, people like that. Okay. Thank you, Martine. Priest. Yeah, I got it. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I had to come share. Does anybody want to come up and discuss it for a few minutes, or are we good? And Mom says, and to think some of these kids are videoed by their family members and sell these to make money. Yep, you're right.
Horrible.
Oh, trust me, Wanda. I've imagined how many children are being violated that'll never be reported. There's a reason why that by the time a child hits the age of 18, there's an 86% chance that they've been sexually violated at least once in their lifetime by the time they hit 18. 86%. Yeah. Absolutely, Mom. Absolutely. Well, Are you saying yes, you want to come up and discuss it, Martine, or sorry, my head's scattered right now, man. This shit really gets me down, dude. It really gets me, dude. That's what the number is. 86%. 86% of children of human beings, by the time they hit adulthood, 86% will have had at least one encounter of being sexually violated, whether it would be at the age of newborn or 5 or 8 or 9, 11, 12, 18, will have an encounter of being sexually violated by the time they hit 18. 86 fucking percent. There's 86 out of every 100 people in our country. Think about it. What's 86% of 380 million people? 290 million people? Okay, Martine. With that being said, I'm getting out of here. This is G2K. Thank you guys for coming and sharing this information with me and seriously getting an insider view of what this fucking shit's really like. I really do appreciate it. And remember, everybody, one child is one too many. What are you going to do to help stop it? Later, guys.